Start recording, dingus. This is your moment. Okay. Qualifying for Great Britain. Okay, what do we got going on here? Gotta hit pause on my recordings. Okay. Well, hopefully this will be enough. Because it's going to rain on the end of it. Oh boy. That was close. And that is effectively the end of qualifying. Oh. It's crazy how quick the water level changes in qualifying versus the race. I know it's because of the way the laps are scaled, but still. Yeah. So when you try to anticipate changes by like going early in endurance, you just pay for it. To the race. I assume you want better tire changes. I want the medium tires. And of course there's rain. I'm going to assume you will want mediums as well. Just not sure about the fuel load. The fuel load. Fuel. Okay. Let's go. Ferrari puts on the medium or the soft tires. The AI does not make good race start decisions. Everyone, everyone's on the soft tire. I don't get it. I personally don't think that the soft tire range makes it viable. But maybe this is just down to the way that they considered these races back then. Just straight up onto the fastest tire and go from there. It's going to take a lot for either of us to get back in the driver's race, but I'm mostly just thinking about the constructors right now. This race will probably determine whether like coming back in either is possible. Okay. Really? I guess it's not meant to be. I bet this is a situation where with this quality team, I could run this like 10 times and we'd win it like 8 or 9. Reliability-wise, this is the worst season. But the guy was telling me to balance reliability. And I'm like, fine. Until they basically offered me Ferrari's brakes and I saw the reliability of them. Now I'm just like, this is bullshit. That I'm retiring more often on my more reliable on our more reliable brakes. Yeah, this is just... like, Button has winning pace, and they're just not letting me finish races. This is like 60 plus points that we've lost just from Jensen Button alone, and then that's not even counting what Coulthard's lost in points, which is pretty significant as well. I think my overall feedback of the mod in this state, sure, matching Ferrari's performance should be difficult. And sure, reliability should be a thing, but it should also be cutting both ways, and it doesn't really feel like it is. If that makes sense. Especially when they basically offer us a stolen spec plan of their brakes, and they're at 58%, and they're finishing more races than we are. The reliability is so low, I'm like, I can't even use these. We won't finish a race. But like, I also think having this be a regular thing and the reliability, like, is too much. Like, if you want to make reliability a thing, like, this should be less frequent. Driver error crashes, especially when you have better drivers. I think that was retained from vanilla, and then they added the reliability element. But probably the right balance is like this being 1 or 2 races at the most, and then the reliability being like the bulk of it. And the driver's aid rule is supposed to reduce this, and it just isn't. It isn't doing that. Crashing. Yeah, and it's the other way around for us. For the top teams, sure. As it's implemented, it just feels like an extra layer of artificial difficulty, because it's difficulty. It's difficulty in an element that I have limited control over. Like, I can increase reliability, but I can't reduce the chances to 0. And I can only increase it by so much. Because we also need to be competitive. And from what I read in the manual, the components each have an individual chance of failure. I feel like each component should have a chance that is divided by 6. And then, like, basically the average reliability of all the components results in an overall chance of the car failing. Whereas then you have like one roll for whether it fails at all, and then like the next, and then you roll for what part fails, with the less reliable parts rolling higher. I'm just being told I'm not managing the team correctly, where I feel like I've built a car that should be sufficiently reliable to win the championship and just isn't. I feel like I get the reliability of every component up to 90 and still have 6 or 7 retirements in a season. And that greatly ties into like why I eventually just started doing faster pit stops, because I felt like even rolling like the lower odds of mistakes, like they were still happening just as frequently. So eventually I just said, fuck it, I'll just take the high odds of failure on a pit stop. You know? Also, I think you should win this race now. I'd be surprised if either of us win the champion, the drivers, or the constructors. I would also point out that crashing or failing on lap 4, from a manager standpoint, is not fun. Because now I have nothing to do but complain for the entire rest of this race. And this has nothing to do with reliability. I don't think I've ever said it before either, but I don't like these cars just randomly shunting off track as often as they do. I think the majority of crashes should be racing incidents. For the inner, 28. For the end of the race, 35. Probably not fun to listen to me complain about this when you got sidelined from the championship for these reasons last season too. That actually helps. Yeah, all the other contenders were fine. Although I did have some critical ones late in the season that, like the only reason I ended up winning was because Schumacher basically, I think didn't he sputter out in the last race, and I was able to win it by one. With Ralph out, we actually might have a chance to climb back in. I just need to start finishing goddamn races is what needs to happen. But now that he is out, Ferrari isn't going to extend their lead. What's been helpful this season is actually that Ferrari's reliability has dropped with ours. Not as badly as ours, but enough where we're kind of still in it. And McLaren is actually nipping at Brunson's heels here a little bit. Oh, 4x. These races are pretty lengthy. I did ask the guy about the update, and he said it was a couple weeks out. So I think there's going to be some waiting time between us finishing this and there being an update to this mod. We're a minute ahead. Ralph was the only one that was even near you. We actually do tie for second if it finishes like this, so things aren't that bad, they're just bad for me. Right? Like, it could be worse, like, team-wise. I mean, I'm just kind of, like, fucked. Got half the leader's points. I think a couple retirements is going to like change the outlook on that significantly. What do you have? You have 3 or 4, right? When we're at round 11 of 17? Yeah, you need 4 or 5 rounds with Ralph finishing second. So even 1 or 2 DNFs would just screw the fuck out of that. Whereas I need Ralph to basically not exist for like the next 3 or 4 races, and I don't think that's going to happen either. I won't say you can't do it, but it's going to take a lot, and like a retirement or 2 can very easily derail it. Which happened to me last season. There was like 1 retirement, and it all but derailed my championship until Michael just in the last race. But at that point, that was the only way I could have won. Yeah, what did he say? After 2008, the reliability does actually stop dropping, and I think it does start to resemble more modern F1 at that point. I think the reliability system is perfect for the 90s. It's just that the penalties, I think, should lessen once you hit the 2000s. Because once you start getting into the 2000s, I think teams start getting a real handle on reliability. So it probably should still be reliability issues and penalties, just to a lesser extent than the 90s. And this is entirely up to you how you want to finish the race. I think basically all the the temperature dropping to 53 will make softs a little bit more difficult. Really doesn't matter which compound you use. You could use the hards and still easily win this. Ferrari has definitely thrown all their resources into Ralf Schumacher being champion. The Ferrari structure of this era is actually very similar to the Red Bull structure of today. It's built around one man. Oh no, Frenson put the soft tires on. One family. Well, one man. Just that the one man changed. Changed from Michael to Ralph. Box mediums. 11. The mod guy also did admit that the red zone is meaningless. It's basically only still graphically there, but this follows their modded reliability system and not the red zone. Knowing that, my push it to the limit perk is useless. Isn't that funny? I'm surprised that they left it in. Like, why not swap that with like a reliability boost or something? Oh, Hines is out. Now we're just going to be second. Yeah, Jordan's not even close. I'd change my mechanic, but I don't really care at this point. But that will influence the way I choose a mechanic in the future, obviously. I mean, seeing the way that this stuff like declines in the red zone, like it's pretty apparent. Because nothing started like declining quicker as we went into the red zone. So I was speculating that it was declining at smaller intervals, but I think everything just drops every couple of laps in the system. Okay. I'm just going to speed this along to its conclusion. Barrichello's out! That's going to change things. We're going to be within 14 now. Damn, son. Damn. And there's just enough race time for him to fall out of the points completely. There it goes. This turned out to be a pretty good race weekend, actually. Touch wood, because you still need to get across the finish line in one piece. From a team perspective, I'll take that. one car with the maximum and a DNF versus Ferrari's 2 DNFs. That's pretty good. There you go. Man, David Coulthard could be an F1 world champion in this universe. That'd be crazy. Okay. Oh yeah, you're within 12. That's actually doable. Oh, home race winner. Well, it was both our home races. All right. What do we got? Magni Cores is up next, and we have just replacing the guys that are burned out now. Why are you fuckers so tired, man? Okay. Let's do it that way. Did I clear? Yeah, I should clear the rest of these out. Magni Cores in 10 days, Gearbox in 12. Lovely. More sponsors! Yeah, we've dropped. The shine has wore off on that title win, I'm sure. Got gearbox, engine, and rear wing. Factory staff is now idle. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of blown by these brakes, which is shitty.